just wanting to get a glimpse of their next president. And right before this big speech, she looked out that window and she's just waving and giving thumbs up and just feeling that intensity, that emotion that we've seen the entire time for these 14 plus weeks. From day one, that's what we felt, every single event. And for her to just, get that just in the car. And then once we got there, I think at first it was going to be maybe 20,000 people. Then they said 30, then 40, and it turned out there were like 100,000 people there. And they were there for the same reason you're here, because they know what's at stake. They know that this is the most important election of our lifetime. It's the most important election of our nation's lifetime. And so when people see this sharp contrast of what she was talking about last night, what kind of country are we going to have? A country where we're moving forward, a country where we protect our rights and our freedoms, that we care about each other, and you have a president that you can look up to, a president who has promised to be president of the United States for every single American, regardless of if you vote for her or not, but please vote for her. So these are the last few speeches I'm going to give. So I'm going to take you back just 14 weeks ago, because it seems like, wow, it's only been 14 weeks. So President Biden just decided not to go forward with the campaign. We had no warning or inkling that that was going to happen. I was actually in Los Angeles at the time. She was in Washington, D.C. And when he talked to her, she didn't have to kind of figure out what to do. She didn't have to think about it. She didn't have to wonder, how do I do this? Because leaders know. Leaders know what to do. And as soon as they got off the phone, she went right into action. She went right into superhero mode. She went right into the most badass version of a badass person mode. And it was immediate. So I was in LA. I was actually in a Soul Cycle class. And I didn't have my phone. And after the class, I was just hanging out with my buddies, having coffee. Still didn't know anything. The world knew. And all of a sudden, one of my friends just put the phone in front of my face, and that was President Biden's letter to the country. And I just said, I gotta go. So I ran to the car, and it wasn't like here, it was like 200 yards away. And I just done Soul Cycle, so I was like, okay, I better get to this car. And my phone was in the car, and of course you could just message, and it was all basically call Kamala, call Kamala. So I finally call her, and first it was, where are you? I need you. And I look back, it was less than a minute conversation. We didn't have time to talk. There wasn't a discussion. There wasn't anything other than get to work, because I'm going to go earn this nomination. And then I'm going to unite the party. And then I'm going to unite the country, and I'm going to win this election. And that was it. And that was it. There wasn't a big discussion about what impact this would have on us, our family, because she knew that the country needed somebody to step up, needed a leader, and that's what she did. So, no one handed her anything in her whole life. She's worked for everything. Everything she's gotten is because she's worked for it, including that nomination. Nobody handed it to her, and nobody else stepped up. She did. She earned the nomination, and then she immediately united our party. That first week or two, remember those rallies, and that's a lot of the things we're still saying right now, like we're not going back. I just said that before I walked up. I said, hey, guess what, to my staff, we're not going back. And you saw that energy and that electricity from day one. People felt it. They felt the joy. They saw the leadership. And then we saw her take Trump on in a debate. Well, she kicked his ass, let's be honest. And that was that. He didn't want to debate her again. So you never saw him back on the debate stage because she kicked his ass the first time. But she also exposed him. She has exposed him for what he really is. And you know, they're trying to gaslight us. They're trying to deceive us at every turn, lies and misinformation, disinformation, online. That's all they've got. Because she exposed the fact that there's no plans for us. There's nothing except grievance. There's nothing except blaming. There's nothing except pointing the finger at other Americans. And that's, you heard her last night when she said, day one, he would literally have a retribution enemies list, and she's going to have a to-do list. So this lie about whether he was a good president the first time, you hear that from some people. Remember what it was actually like when he was president? The stress, the chaos, the incompetence, all that. But when we actually needed somebody to do the job, remember COVID? Do you remember him getting in front of the country each and every day and lying about it? And I got to tell you, that whole first year as second gentleman, traveling the country, including here, begging people to get vaccinated. And so many people believed the lies. People died because of that. People died because of that. That was him. His other big thing was appointing extreme Supreme Court justices who then took away reproductive freedom in the Dobbs decision. That was him. That was him, and that was the other thing that he did except for cutting taxes for people like Elon Musk. Why do you think people like Elon Musk are supporting him? Because he's going to continue those tax cuts. And then the other thing that he now wants to do is just make things more expensive for you in the form of tariffs. That's what he's got. And I think a lot of young people are getting duped. They think he's funny. They think he's cool. He shows up on their podcasts. He shows up at wrestling matches. He does all these things. Again, it's an effort to distract you, young people, especially young men out there. He is not your friend. The policies, go do your homework. Go actually check out what he's saying, and you're going to find out, especially if you're young and he comes back, your life is the one that's going to be impacted negatively for the rest of your life. And imagine if he gets to pick more Supreme Court justices. What's that going to do to your freedom? What's that going to do to the environment? What's that going to do to the amount of guns that are on the street? What's that going to do to whether we have a free press? And you already see what's happening. Just in anticipation of him maybe coming back. You see major news outlets pulling back endorsements. Why are they doing that? Fear. We cannot let that fear win, right? But the good news is that Kamala is going to win this election. So we're not going to have to worry about that stuff. We don't have to worry about an enemies list. We don't have to worry about the United States military coming after United States citizens. I can't even believe I'm talking about this. You won't have to worry about whether the President of the United States is actually praising Hitler behind closed doors, which is what he did. Like, this is what's going to happen. This is what we're not going to have to worry about when Kamala is president. She's also, as she said last night and throughout this whole campaign, she's going to have policies that actually help people. She's going to listen to experts. She's going to work with the other side, moderates, Republicans, independents. She's going to have plans that help everyone in every state. Again, whether or not you voted for her, it doesn't matter to her, because as President of the United States, you're president for the entire country, not just Republicans who vote for you in red states. And her plans are going to grow the economy, not tank the economy, like his plans would. Again, his only plans are extending those tax cuts, higher costs in the form of tariffs. Moody's had said, and other objective people have said, that will send us right into a recession right away. And if you're here as a young person, do you want to start your career right into a recession? And look what Elon Musk is saying. Elon Musk himself is saying, yeah, there's going to be a lot of pain, there's going to be a lot of suffering in the economy, but because he and the other billionaires are going to benefit, they don't care. They're saying it. They're saying it. So pay attention to what they're saying. But her plans are going to cut taxes for most of you. 100 million in the middle class. She's going to help us build more affordable housing. Reinstituting a child tax credit to help you start a family. She's going to help you start a small business with bigger tax deductions. And for people like me in the sandwich generation with older parents, and well, you met one of my kids, senior Medicare help for seniors at home, which is huge. Lowering insulin to $35 for everyone, not just seniors. She's going to continue to rebuild our infrastructure. She's going to continue to invest in technology. She knows we need to be on top of AI and space commercialization. She also knows that we need to lower prices, and she's going to work on that. And she also knows that we need to have a secure border, and she knows we need to have a pathway to citizenship. Both can be true at the same time. She's going to do that work because she's already done that work. She's the present starting in 6 days. So let's talk about last night, which was like her closing argument. I thought it was, I am biased, but it was awesome. So she made her argument right at the White House ellipse. So that was the same exact place almost 4 years ago that Donald Trump stood on January 6th and desecrated the very idea of America, that we decide who our leaders are. She wanted to return to that spot and reclaim our democracy for us, to turn the page on the Trumpian era of politics as a tool of hate, as a tool of division, and a tool of dysfunction. Like I said, as her husband, it was surreal when I got up on that stage. I was like, wow, that's a lot of people. But I was so proud of her. But I wasn't just proud of her as her husband. I was so proud as an American. I was so proud as a patriot. I was so proud as someone for the last 4 years has had the honor of being second gentleman, which is for everyone. And I've gotten to represent the United States of America, this country that we love so much, all over the world. And so that's how we have to continue that. We have to continue that. And you could see it in the faces in that audience. You couldn't really see it on TV, but I looked around and I could see on the faces of those folks the affirmations. People nodding, people smiling. God bless you. And wanting exactly what she was saying because we need what she's saying. That's the kind of country we need to live in. And the other thing you're seeing right now with just a couple of days left, you're also starting to see her as President of the United States. Because what you saw last night was someone who is president, somebody who can stand up there with that White House in the background, representing us proudly, strongly, with dignity, with honor, and again, representing everyone, every single person, putting country over party. She's open to listening to ideas. You heard her humility last night. She said she's not perfect, but she's always going to listen. She will always tell the truth, and she will always work to get things done for all of us. Trump wants to go after his political opponents. Kamala is going to give them a seat at the table so we can work together. But we got 6 days left. So right here, like right here in this exact spot, we can win this election. It's close. We can win here if you all get out. You got early voting, I think, for another couple of days. And so take advantage of that early voting. Get as many people as you can. We've got busloads of folks coming in to help you canvass and make those calls and knock on doors so we can get this thing done. So yes, I did get to see her for a minute last night. I got to be in her car. I got to see those thousands of people waving. I got to see 100,000 people cheering, and many millions got to watch it on TV. So let's be there for her. She stepped up for us. Like I said, nobody gave her this. She stepped up. She did it for us. She's been doing it for 14 and a half weeks. We got 6 days more. So she'll be here in Nevada, I think, tomorrow. So I'm hanging around for this. So she's going to go to Reno and come back here. We're going to have a big rally. I will be there. And let's just cheer her on to the White House. So let's win it here. Thank you all so much. I know I'm losing my voice, but you know what? I want everyone to lose their voice. When people say, hey, you look tired, I said, I am tired, but I better be. We all better be tired because we got to get this thing done. Thank you so much.